Hi everybody, it's Deryck here. Welcome to Heavy Metal Art with Deryck. Hope you're having a great weekend so far at Voici. We're going to be working on an art project that you'll be able to keep for yourself or give away to a family member. So the first thing you're going to want is a nice workstation where you can have all your materials handy. But if you need to pause at any time to get new things, hey, just press pause and come back to it later. I'm going to go over the few of the things that you're going to need today. One of the things that's really important is your base of your project. So I've got some different types of wood here. So I've got some 1/2-inch plywood you can use, which is just the back of something I found lying around. You could use a artist's canvas. This one's like a heavy cardboard one. And this other piece of plywood, which is like a 1/4 inch. So anything that's got some substance to it, you don't want anything too light that's going to bend and buckle under the weight. Again, just see what you've got lying around the house. One of the things that I like to do when I'm making art is just see what I've got lying around and then finding inspiration in that. So the first thing we're going to do when you have your background is grab some paint. So I'm going to use some black acrylic paint and cover that whole thing. Just using a old sponge. Covered up your surface so you don't get any paint over your kitchen table. Got enough paint on it. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's kind of covered up. Just let it sit and dry, and you can press pause in the video right now and then come back when it's dry and we'll show you the next step.
Buckle up, kids. This day just got awesome.
All right, so my board is nice and dry and I'm ready to begin. So what I suggested was find a favorite Bible verse that you can use to make a frame. So I went and found a picture that I took last week of a spotted sandpiper. And the spotted sandpiper was flying around a local pond, and I thought that would make a really, really good background image. So I just printed it off on regular old paper. If you were able to print it off on photo paper, that would be fine as well. But if you don't have a picture, you can just write something up. So it's from Matthew 6, verses 25 and 26, and it says, this is Jesus talking. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? And I think that is a really good thing to remember, that you are valuable to the Lord. So I'm going to use my board as basically a photo frame. So I'm going to put my picture in the middle right now just to sort out the spacing. I'm going to put that in at the very, very end. I'm just going to make some markings on my board of where this is going to go. There's no way to do this wrong. It's art. It's whatever it is. So one of the cool things about having junk lying around is that there is something that you can do with it. You can, lay things down first and see what you've got. I've got old popsicle sticks. I've got an old wrench here, a Ninja Turtle, buttons, bags of nuts and bolts, a chain. This was in my desk at school. I don't know where it came from. If you're going to spell things out, I would suggest doing that at the very, very end so that you can be able to read what you want to spell out. So start looking for your items, and once you have them, put them in front of you, and then we'll be right back. So I've decided I'm just going to start gluing things down. So use your hot glue gun. Watch it. Hot glue guns are hot. Just wherever you feel you want to put something down. Give it a press down there. No limit to what you can put down here. I'm going to put that on a different angle. So one of the things, I don't want things to be going kind of the same direction. I want things kind of be going all over the place. Oh, that's a hook. Not only could this be a picture frame, I can use it to hang my hats. So once that gets done and you're at the point where you're happy with the way it looks, we are ready for the next step. For the next step, you'll need a paintbrush. I like this old cheapy one that has like these bristles. You could use a foam one if you wanted to, but I think this one's probably going to do a better job. And I need some of that black paint that I had at the beginning. And what we're going to do is we are going to paint over every single thing on our board. So this will take a while because you got to get in all those nooks and crannies. And what you don't want is you don't want any color showing through. My top coat of black is dry, so yours should look somewhat like this. If you're not totally happy with it, well then give it a little bit more black paint. Now, the next step is to get a contrasting color. So I think the instructions were to use white, which is fine, that'll work, or you could use like a silver. We've used copper or a really, really sort of deep red. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of that color right here. And I don't want too much on my paintbrush, so I'm just going to dab it off a little bit. And then I'm just going to kind of go over this and give it a bit of very lightly over the top of things. I don't want a total coat, but I wanted to sort of highlight some of the shapes that are there, sort of the edges of things, kind of like the edge of that moret, a little bit of that ridge. I glued a Lego piece down there. And the rope. And just go over lightly. You don't want to totally coat things, but just give it enough paint to be able to highlight some of that texture that is naturally present in the things that you glued down. Again, if you're unhappy with it, well, just let this dry and then give it another coat of black. My duck here,
Happy.
sometimes he says, the first rule is there are no rules. And when it comes to making art like this, really, that's pretty much it. You kind of do what you feel works for you. So I think I'm happy with that little bit right there. I think that's pretty good. I got all the little bits and pieces that I wanted to get. That's coming along really nicely. So I'm going to leave that there. One of the temptations is to just keep doing it. So do that and then come on back. So I think we're all good. So I have given it a little top coat of the silver, and now we have an almost finished photo frame. So I've got my picture here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue down in here. I've already measured it out to make sure that it will fit. There is my completed picture frame, and you can do a couple of things. You could get a nice stand like that and sit it up on your dresser or your countertop, or you could get some screws and put them on the wall and hang it on the wall at home. There you go. So I'm really happy that you were able to join us today. Thanks for taking part, and I hope this isn't the last time you do this. This is make a great present for somebody. Father's Day is coming up. Or you get a head start on Mother's Day for next year. Christmas is only 6 months away. So whatever you do, I want you to have fun making art moving forward.